Hi and welcome to an episode of Another Piece of Scrap. Hi, on this episode of Another Piece of Scrap, we sort out the electric bed. Now the van's empty, we've cleared out all the stuff under the seat. What we need to do next is remove quite a bit of the seating so we can actually get to the mechanism and then replace the motor. When the motor's replaced, we'll see if the new wiring we've put in at the front actually makes a difference. Okay, so under the bed we've got two drive rods that operate the actual bed mechanism, so we need to put the motor back in between them, and the motor mounts, I think, on this bracket here. So we're going to take off some of the bed guess what? It's a metric nut.
Rubbish.
I'll be honest, I've had enough of this bloody bed for one lifetime. It's been in and out so many times. Missing in action, mate.
So 13 would be the way to go then.
See that? That fits. That's 11. Let's try 11.
So you've got 12 that's missing action.
Hey, it's 11. Where'd I put a screwdriver? I need a bigger screwdriver.
You got one?
It would do. The motor's connected into its frame, so we're going to jury rig the wiring in. So one crocodile clip on there, the other on here, taking care not to short it on the chassis. So we have on here the switch for the motor. Very simple. Up is up and down is lay it flat. So we're going to see if a motor actually works.
Seems a bit weak.
So this seems fairly slow and ponderous considering we haven't actually connected the worm drives in yet, or the flexi drives. Perhaps we'll do that now and see what happens. Honest, these are just a push fit, like so, like so. Both flexi shafts are now connected, so if we try the bed again, we should see some activity on the bed frame. Somewhere the mechanism's trying to jam.
Okay.
We think the motor may be old and, quite frankly, a bit burnt out.
Bit like both of us.
A bit like both of us. We know the frame is a little bit bent, unlike the two of us. However, you put the weak motor onto the bent frame and we may have an issue there. So in a nutshell, we need to ascertain if a motor is weaker and the frame is bent. So to do that, we're going to get a 12 volt car charger power pack, wire it directly to the motor, override all the van electrics, see what happens. If it can actually get the frame to work, we'll prove a couple of things. But the motor's okay, but the frame is bent. It'll also demonstrate that the wiring in the van going to the motor is too old and broken to supply enough ampage or power. So therefore we need to go back to the battery and keep working our way through and get the electrics in this van up to some level of 12 voltness.
And just to add to what Ed's just said, the reason we called it scrap was obviously if you take the S off, you get crap. So, i.e. electrics in this thing, are they going to be scrap or crap? Wait to see.
And with that, back to the kettle. We have our power pack, so what we're going to do now is connect the crocodile clips to our crocodile clips. Obviously we'll do the first one, and the second I connect this up, that motor should kick in. I have to be a little bit careful to make sure it's not going the wrong way and further bend the frame. So I shall just touch it on briefly to see what's going on.
Bang!
So we have
Nothing.
no power. I think we know why. As this is actually a junk pack for a dead car battery.
It needs to see current.
You're right, it needs to see current, a drain, a battery at the end of the crocodile clips.
Yeah.
It doesn't see anything at all. Therefore it's not activating. We know there's power in it, we've already tested that. So our master plan has failed. As we've ascertained that the power pack isn't working, we're going to connect this directly to the battery. Doesn't matter which way around we connect this for now. Balance that there. We're going to go negative and well, that works. So the motor's working, and it seems to be quite strong. So our problems are really in the wiring in the van, and probably the bed frame. So I think what we might do in the short term now to try and get the bed up is hot wire directly from the battery to the motor in the van and see if we can't get the bed back into a seat before we call it a day. We've connected up the motor to the battery directly using these wires, and remarkably it worked perfectly. So the motor itself is fine, it doesn't need rewinding, it's got plenty of power. The mechanism itself is still bent, however it did wind up perfectly. So what we're going to do now is reassemble the base of the seat, which will straighten up all these brackets and prevent the mechanism winding itself to death. And quite frankly, that will probably be it for this episode. So thank you for watching. As you can see, the bed is now up. We're going to go for a bite to eat. Please like and subscribe, and we'll hope you join us for the next episode.
Tell your friends. Bye.
Are we done?
I think so.
Can I go now?
Yeah. Right, cut.